Hi, and welcome to Strawberry Innovation. We are going to talk about the best way to use the practical guide for innovators. Now, you can sit down and read it cover to cover. However, most of you may already have an agenda. You may already have a good idea that you want to develop. If you do, then you skip to chapter III, the brain dump, and read that. If you have the accompanying workbook, there are some blank pages where you can write down everything about your idea, even sketches. And I'd encourage you to write down the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever is in your brain, get it out, because you'll use it later. Or you may decide to cross some of it out and put some new stuff on there. Whatever the case, document what's in your brain. Do a brain dump. If you don't already have a good idea, that's okay. We've got an answer for that too. You can go through chapters 2, 3, 4, 5, and or 6 to find an idea worth pursuing. Now, each of those has a different approach to innovation, whether it's start with a resource, start with a waste product, or start with a gap analysis list. There's different ways to find a problem worth solving. But these chapters are there to guide you to a problem that will be valuable for your company or lucrative in some ways. At the end of each chapter is a list of juicy questions. And those are questions to guide you towards a solution. Now, if you have the workbook, you can answer those in the workbook, and there are some additional questions there for you to think about as well. I'd encourage you to answer as many juicy questions as possible, because one that you may want to skim over might end up being the key to your solution. So, after you've worked your way through one or more chapters, and have an idea, and have performed a brain dump and documented your thoughts, name it. All right, I can see some of you are skeptical and think that a name is not important. However, I can tell you every single time I have named a solution, it has made it more real. And making something more real makes you want to invest your time in it and helps direct your thoughts. After that is research and refinement. If you don't already have a team, now is the time to find one. Seriously, every single time I've had a good idea, a team has made it better. They have different backgrounds, they have different thoughts, they'll come with questions that'll strengthen your idea and help you make a better solution. So I'd encourage you to put together a diverse team. Don't let your ego convince you that you're the only one with the answers. A team will make ideas better every single time. Next, discuss whether your team wants to prototype the new idea. You don't have to prototype the whole thing. You might just be prototyping part of it or the science behind it to prove out what you're thinking. This can be very valuable, as I illustrated in the book with ionic shower. It might show you that it's a really bad idea and you shouldn't invest any more time in it. And that's okay. Those dead ends are valuable too. And then you can go back and find a better solution, as my team did. Or you might find that it's a great solution. You'll learn something, document that, and move on to evaluation. There are different ways to evaluate your strawberry, and the book goes through different ways, the Heilemeyer Catechism and others. I'd encourage you to evaluate the strawberry in as many ways as possible. And again, those juicy questions at the end of the chapter and in the workbook are there to help guide you. After that evaluation, you might go back for more research and refinement, or you may be ready to put together a business case. Don't be intimidated. You don't need an MBA or a Master of Business Administration to write a business case. I don't have an MBA. However, the book will guide you through some basic questions for evaluating the number of customers you have, the amount of profit margin you might have, and the kinds of things that managers ask to ensure that there will be a return on investment, an ROI. After that, Chapter 9 explains the patent life cycle. Now, you may or may not need a patent. You may or may not want a patent. The chapter touches on that as well. But if you are going to pursue a patent, there are certain steps involved, and it helps alleviate some anxiety if you know what those are in advance. So that chapter is there to let you know what to expect. And last but not least on this flowchart is invention disclosure. While you've been going through these steps, you've developed what needs to go into an invention disclosure. You may just need to pull out certain information for that ID. For example, a sketch of your idea, the name, and the basic information. An ID can be one slide, and I say slide because I like to use Microsoft PowerPoint. You can use any format you choose, but it could be one slide, it could be more. It depends on how many slides you need to get across your idea, to build a business case, and to talk about the goodness in that idea. And that is those are the basic chapters of Strawberry Innovation. There are more, and I'd encourage you to read the entire book. But for those of you who are focused on getting something done, this is my recommended flow through the book. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy innovating.